In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to set up this helicopter rig and the components that go into it, and show you how really simple it is to make your own helicopter leaders. The other good thing about this rig is it is completely interchangeable, so you can swap out both the hook link and the weight with simple quick disconnects. So based on the conditions, or if you just want to leave the rig attached to your rod and just clip on a hook link and a new weight on each session, then you can simply do that without any issues, and it really saves some time, and it's especially helpful on short sessions where really you want to get your bait in the water as quickly as possible with a minimum of fussing. Alright, so this is how I go about assembling a helicopter rig, or a chod rig for that matter. Really pretty similar, of course. So what I have here is I have some Camoflex. Now this is the lead-free one, and this is what it looks like spliced up here. Here's you can see it's super supple. It is really soft, and it works really well for this. But you know, you can see it will kind of tangle up because it's so soft, just like any other braid. Sinks well, lays along the bottom well, especially with a slackline presentation. This is regular Camoflex lead core with a lead core. See, it's considerably thicker. They're both 45 pound, and they both work for this rig. I like this a lot. I've been using this for a long time. Works great. Either one, personal preference, or if you're on a venue that requires lead-free, then go ahead and use the lead-free. Alright, now we'll do it with the lead-free one, since that's the one I've been talking about. What you need is some silicone tubing. Now this is silicone from Gardner. It's a super thick walled tube. I don't know if you'll be able to see, probably not. Let's see if I can go the right direction here. I'm looking at the phone that I'm using to view this, but see if it'll focus that close. Yeah, you can maybe see there that the wall is really thick. The inside bore is just a little pinprick of a hole. So that is key. I've tried a lot of different methods, and this is by far the tubing you need. It's like Gardner XT silicone tubing or something like that. So what I'd go ahead and do is trim off maybe 3/4 of an inch of that, and then take my baiting needle here. I'm going to slide that through that little pinprick of a hole, and it's key to have a splicing needle to do this, because that hole is really small and you need the latch hook on there. Put it onto there, and then slide it onto your leader. So there we have it. It's a nice thick blob on there, and it takes quite a bit of force to pull it along, so it won't slide when you cast too bad or anything like that. Alright, now, so this is going to be the bottom of the rig, where we're going to attach the weight, and then this is going to be the top, where you attach to your main line. So the next thing that goes on is a safety bead, Gardner safety bead. It's a tapered board bead. One end of the bead is larger than the other. You can see in this little diagram on the back of the package. So basically we're going to slide that on to our splicing needle with the large diameter going on, so that it'll be up against the silicone. So in other words, I'm going to put the needle through the small side of the bead, slide that on, and then that will slide up onto that silicone. Whereas if you put the small end, it'll be difficult to slide up on there, and if you hook a fish and you break off, it might not slide off. But you can see this will slide right off that way, but it'll be much more difficult to get it back on with the small end. Alright, now the next piece is a ring swivel with a quick disconnect here. Now this is really handy for changing hook links easily, and with the extra ring on there, it gives it a lot of movement, so when it hits the bottom, if it sinks into a lot of mud or whatever, it'll always be at the right angle. So next thing we do, slide that on. Alright, and now for a buffer bead. Now these are the extra long buffer beads from Gardner, the XL buffer beads, and I like these because it does provide a little bit more shock absorption when you get a fish, and it also covers up quick disconnects and everything else. So I'm going to put that on. In order to get it on, again, the splicing needle is really useful for that. So you can put that on, and it just makes it a little bit simpler than trying to thread it through without it. And then we're going to take the little quick disconnect here. It's also from Gardner, and we're just going to take that and put that into the loop. So you can get pre-made spliced leaders to do this, or you can just splice your own. This stuff splices super easy. The reason I have the super glue here is because on the splice section I put a little bit of super glue to make sure it doesn't back out. But it's super simple. Definitely, if you're interested in tying these rigs, it's a lot more economical just to splice your own leaders rather than paid by pre-spliced ones. Alright, so there we have it. And you can slide the buffer up and down to suit your depth requirements. Now this is more set up for a helicopter rig than a chod rig. Personally, I do my chod rigs a little bit different with another ring so that the hook doesn't get too close to the weight, just because you have a really short hook link. But with a standard type helicopter arrangement, this will work just fine. And I haven't any issues with my hooks pulling or anything like that. And I'll go get a hook link here and show you what it looks like all put together. Alright, so here we have a bottle bomb from Gardner and a little Ronnie rig with a little anti-tangle sleeve, the short anti-tangle sleeve. Now I tie a big loop. I don't know if you can see it on the white background. Maybe if I put it over top of this. Fairly large loop, and that acts to stiffen it up and make it a little bit longer and less prone to tangle. So just simply clip it onto the clip, slide the anti-tangle sleeve over, and now that can't come off. Take your clip on the bottom, clip in the bottle bomb, and then slide the anti-tangle sleeve down a little ways to keep it from coming off again. I don't worry about going all over the swivel. You can take off the swivel if you want to. Just cut it right off and attach it directly to the top of the lead. But I don't mind having a little bit of swiveling here, so if the lead sticks in, this will just slide down to the side and lay flat to the bottom if that was to happen. So there we have it. This is the way I set up a helicopter rig. I've tried, as I said, a number of different styles, and this is by far the one that does the business. Doesn't slide, is safe for fish because of that tapered bore safety bead here to come off should you snap off, and very, very tangle resistant, and has put a bunch of fish on the bank for me since I started using it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll try to keep more coming, and hopefully they will help you in your fishing. Thanks for watching.